months of discourse in Westminster being dominated by MPs' expenses, the government have just announced a new plan to focus on issues such as housing, healthcare, education and policing. Following the fallout of the MPs' expenses scandal, questions have been raised over the moral integrity of MPs. Also, the election of two BNP MEPs in the recent European elections have presented Labour with significant new challenges. We at Catch-21 want to talk about what the government plan to do to deal with the rising challenges facing them. Today, I'll be speaking to Ms. Rushanara Ali, prospective parliamentary candidate for Bow and Bethnal Green, about what she plans to do if elected as an MP for Labour Party and about the challenges facing her and her party in the future. We're joined today by Rushanara Ali, prospective parliamentary candidate for Labour Party in Bow and Bethnal Green. First of all, thank you for joining us. The Prime Minister has just announced a new plan for the government to focus more on policy issues such as housing, education, policing and things like this. Lord Mandelson has come out and said that it's important to focus on these issues to bring attention away from talk of expenses that has dominated proceedings at Westminster for some time. What issues do you think it's important to focus on?
I think for a community like this, the big issues for me, which I've been focused on and have campaigned on, are around jobs, around housing, around education, support for education services, both in the formal sense, but also in terms of adult education, as well as after-school education. We have the largest concentration of young people in Europe in this area, so making sure there's proper youth provision is absolutely vital to keep them out of trouble, but also to keep them engaged in learning. Adult education is a major issue for this area. Recently there were proposals to cut English language provision by the Learning and Skills Council, so I've been campaigning against that because that's going to be an absolute disaster for people in this area who have language difficulties. And if we want to see a more integrated community, a society where people have the skills and capacities to be able to get jobs and so on, particularly women, then we have to make sure that those services are intact. So for me, those are the key priorities, and what I'm doing is trying to make sure that we have enough resources from central government in order to support the services that are available here and also add to them.
So you've obviously talked a lot about the education aspect of the plan, but another key aspect of the plan is housing and priority for local people when it comes to local housing. It has been said that this plan is an attempt to bring support back to the Labour Party in areas such as this one that would have been former Labour strongholds, but maybe support has gone towards the BNP in recent times, particularly given the fact that the BNP have just secured 2 seats in the recent European elections. What do you think is important for you to do as a prospective parliamentary candidate in this area to tackle the problem presented by the BNP?
We defeated the far right in the 90s, when this was the area that had the BNP get elected for the first time in this country. And the way that they were defeated was through politics. It was through political activism and mobilisation. And it's very important to focus on that. On an issue like housing policy, it's a very complex set of issues. I think it's a good thing to look at how to nuance the housing policies so that in a community like this, for instance, where families want to live in close proximity to one another and there's a shortage of supply of housing, some consideration is given to the need to house families together. Similar issues have come up in areas like Barking and Dagenham. I think also we need to deal with the fact that when there are new communities moving into an area, wherever it is, or if you are putting asylum seekers into a community that's not historically used to having newcomers in their proximity, then it's very important for national government to provide lots and lots of support to the local agencies to deal with that change. And I would say that in the past that has been quite patchy. Not enough support and not enough resources have been given to local agencies to be able to respond to the kinds of hostility that might occur.
Obviously at Catch-21, the main focus of what we do is providing a forum for young people to become engaged with politics and the issues that affect them. So what do you feel is the key issue that you'll have to deal with in order to bring young people back to politics and allow them to feel more engaged with the political process and the key issues that face them?
I think it's really important that we give young people a genuine voice and an opportunity to participate and to see when their contribution is making a difference. Politicians and political activists are in competition with young people's time, for young people's time. So it has to be exciting and fun and meaningful. And I think that whenever I've gotten young people involved with political activity, where they can see the results, where they can see actually when they go and see a minister and tell the minister about their concerns and they have the opportunity to voice it directly themselves, that's when they can see how these things work. Once they meet these politicians and have a chance to talk to them, they'll realise that actually if they can do it, then if the young person wants to go into politics and public life, they certainly can too. And I think that contact can really make a difference in helping them.
Over the next coming months, many prospective parliamentary candidates will be talking about their views and plans if elected to Parliament. Rushanara Ali's comments have been helpful in understanding the challenges that face her as a prospective MP and also the Labour Party in the future. It's also been helpful for understanding the social programmes being launched by Labour at the moment in an effort to restore faith of people in government. But of course, what actually matters when it comes down to it is what you think. Do you think that the government is doing enough to restore people's faith in what they're doing? Do you think the social programmes will genuinely help to bring people's faith back to the party? Or maybe you think that it's just another political ploy in order to win support back from the other parties? Whatever you think, we want to know what you think. So, to leave comments on this video and engage in debate with other people, please log on to www.catch21.co.uk and tell us what you think. You can also see more videos just like this by visiting our website.